Salutations, everybody.
Hi, folks. It's good to see y'all here this morning. Yo, 11 o'clockers. And look, we have a guest. We have guests.
Well, not really guests, just unwelcome visitors.
Well, not really unwelcome, just old.
So what are you guys doing here?
Well, Kay and I were going to tell everyone a bit about our trip to Turkey last April, where we were following in the footsteps of Paul.
Cool, which makes perfect sense, since the Sunday school kids are focusing on Paul all month, following the footsteps of Paul. How was it?
Exciting, but hard.
Why?
Well, I have small feet.
Plus, Paul really got around. There were lots of footsteps to follow.
But wait a minute. What was Paul doing in Turkey? I thought Paul was in the Bible.
Well, he is, and as a matter of fact, as you know, he wrote a bunch of the Bible. You know, all the letters from Paul to the churches that he started in Asia Minor that make up much of the New Testament.
Corinthians, Galatians, Colossians, Philippians, Ephesians. But what's Turkey got to do with it?
Well, most of those churches Paul started, the first Christian churches anywhere, were in Asia Minor, or what's now called Turkey.
Cool, but maybe you should start at the beginning.
Okay, well, one day, 29 years ago, I was born. Why are you laughing?
Not that beginning, the beginning of Paul's footsteps.
Right. Well, you remember last week you were up here talking about Saul on the road to Damascus and how the risen Jesus came to Saul and transformed his life, turning Saul around from not understanding Christians to becoming one of the leaders of the new church.
Right. Paul had been born in Tarsus in Turkey and then educated in Jerusalem to be a Jewish leader. But then he met the risen Jesus, and the rest is history.
As in, the rest changed history. And it went like this. After Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection, Jesus' disciples were all trying to figure out what to do next. Jesus had told them to go into the world to spread the good news. And for a while, Peter went up to Antioch in southern Turkey on the border with Syria and started a church there, the first church where the followers of Jesus were first called Christians.
And that's where we begin at the beginning today, at that first church, and the third stop on our tour in the footsteps of Paul.
Third stop? Where were the first two stops?
Well, first we went to Tarsus to see Paul's birthplace.
What about the second?
It was a rest stop. It was a long drive from Tarsus to Antioch.
Drive? I thought you were walking in the footsteps of Paul.
Well, we were when we got out of the bus. Turkey's a huge country. Paul walked it and was on a boat some, traveling over 13,000 miles in his lifetime. Amazing.
I bet he got a lot of sand in his sandals.
Sand?
You know, sand from hazing across the deserts, like Lawrence of Arabia.
Well, actually, Turkey looks a lot like Montana, with mountains and snow and dirt. It's amazing to think about, actually. Paul spent a lot of his time on paths up and down mountains.
Well, anyway, here we are at Antioch, the first church, which met in a cave for safety. And we were there.
And we have pictures. Here's Kay inside that first church.
Okay, here's Marvin. By the little spring in the cave where they did baptisms.
But these pictures are black.
It was dark in there. Anyway, just think about it. Peter and Paul and Barnabas. That's Paul's friend and fellow traveler Barnabas, not our puppet one. They're together in that first church. Fellow travelers standing there in that very spot where we just were 2,000 years before we were there.
2013. It's good to be precise about these things.
It was amazing and inspiring. Just think of that little group whose lives had been transformed forever by Jesus, staring out of the mouth of that cave towards a whole world that didn't yet know Jesus, and knowing that Jesus had chosen them, had called them to spread the good news.
With no internet or Facebook or newspapers or printing presses.
Or buses. What an awesome responsibility.
Just imagine being there, in that cave, looking at the light coming in from the mouth. The whole world needing salvation. Needing Jesus' love. Needing the church.
It's kind of like Lazarus in the tomb, dead and then being raised by Jesus, coming out. Or Jesus in the tomb for 3 days and then on Easter, walking out into the light, alive.
And so that's what Paul and Barnabas and Peter did too. They stepped out into the light and they walked and they told Jesus' story.
Throughout Asia Minor and Greece and the Holy Lands and eventually the world.
But it started with that first step. And as Kay and I stepped out of that same cave, we could feel it. We had been called to go into the world and share the good news, God's love for all. And so have you. Wow, look what God has done. And now, is this a great day for another first step or what?
You bring the sun out to warm my life up, to make my love grow. Every day you bring the stars out to light my night up, to make my darkness go away. You bring the sun out to warm my life up, to make my love grow. Every day you bring the stars out to light my night up, to make darkness go away. I reach to you, you reach to me. No matter where I go, I know you'll always be. Never too far, far from my heart. I'll always have you here, I'll always have you near. You bring the sun out to warm my life